Hi all, we heartily welcomes you to our BTech final year project presentation. Our topic is Alzheimer disease prediction using machine learning algorithms. First of all, we sincerely thank our project guide Ms. Suhida Kesi, Assistant Professor, Department of CSE, MD Ullipe. And also we thank Ms. Nitya VP, our HOD, and project coordinator Mrs. Ambali Andarjana and other staffs. Our group members are Anagha NK, Anshira Raj PK, Aishwarya NP, and myself. I am Amal Dutt. Overview of our project presentation contains abstract, introduction, problem statement, proposed system, architecture, implementation, method used, result and discussion, screenshots, performance evaluation, conclusion, future enhancement, and references. Moving on to abstract, Alzheimer disease is the one amongst neurodegenerative disorders. The symptoms are begin initially, they become more severe over time. Alzheimer's disease is a prevalent sort of dementia. This disease is challenging one because there is no treatment for the disease. Diagnosis of the disease is done, but that too at the later stage only. Thus, if the disease is predicted earlier, the progression or the symptoms of the disease can be slowed down. In our project uses machine learning algorithms to predict the Alzheimer disease using psychological parameters like age, MMSE, and gender. Next is our introduction. For this project, the base paper we are taken is Alzheimer disease prediction using machine learning algorithms by J. Neelaveni and M.S. Geeta Devasana. It is taken from IEEE 2020 March. Alzheimer disease is caused by both genetic and environmental factors. Those affects the brain of a person over time. This disease breaks the brain tissue over time. It occurs to people over age 65. MMSE, that is mini mental state examination score, is the main parameter used for prediction of the disease. There is no treatment to cure Alzheimer's disease. However, people live with this disease for about 9 years. Almost I among 8 people of age 65 and over have this disease. Here we implement a Python website with Flask framework. Flask is an API of Python that allows us to build up web application. API are a set of functions and procedures that allow for the creation of application that access data and features of other application services or operating system. The main parameter used are age, MMLC score, and gender. MMSE stands for Mini Mental State Examination, is main parameter used for prediction of the disease.
Hi all, I am Anaga NK. Next section is objective. The main objective of our project is to predict the Alzheimer's disease and conduct MMSE tests for patient. Here, it is able to consult a doctor for patients and also predict chances of getting Alzheimer's disease in future. It is usable for common people and it is user friendly and predict Alzheimer's disease problem statement. In Alzheimer's disease symptoms are begins initially and they become more severe over time. It occurs the people of age 65 and above. For diagnosing Alzheimer's disease, it is very costly and it can have the side effects also. In later stages of Alzheimer's disease, it is very difficult to prevent and also from the further growing and it may be misunderstood by the age related problem. As we know, now we are currently facing a pandemic situation. In this difficult situation, it is so difficult to consult a doctor and predict Alzheimer's. The causes probably includes a combination of age changes in the brain along with the genetic, environmental and lifestyle factors. The importance of any one of these factors is increasing or decreasing. The risk of Alzheimer's disease differ from person to person. So, the early detection of Alzheimer's is very important. If it detected earlier, the possibility of increasing Alzheimer's disease can be reduced on that person. The next section is proposed system. Here we proposed a new system to predict Alzheimer's disease. The data set has three parameters greatly help in predicting the disease like MMSE score, age, gender of the patients were used. MMSE stands for Mini Mental State Examination. It is a 30-point questionnaire that used to extensively in clinical and research settings to measure cognitive impairments. Cognitive impairment means that a person has trouble to remembering, learning new things, concentrating or making decisions that affect on their everyday life. When a machine learning algorithms like support vector machine decision tree were used, they predict the disease with different accuracies. Here we used two machine learning algorithms, SVM and decision tree. SVM is a supervised machine learning model that uses classification algorithm or regression problems. It is a predictive analysis data classification algorithm that assign new data element to one labeled categories. In decision tree, that is the second algorithm we are used here. In decision tree, it is also an important algorithm for predictive modeling. It can use visually and explicitly represent decisions. It is a graphical representation that makes use of branching methodologies to simplify all possible outcomes based on certain conditions. The conduct of algorithm is compared based on their accuracy. Then the data set is partitioned according to that ratio, and when the algorithms are compared, the best one is selected and can be used for the next stage of prediction.
Hi all, I am Anashara. The next section is architecture. The aim is to find the accuracy. First, the psychological parameters like age, gender, MMSE score are moved into classifiers. Here, two classifiers are used, SVM and decision tree. After the classification function, the output from both classifiers are combined together and finally get high accuracy as output. The next part is implementation section. In our project, there are three modules. They are admin, user and doctor. Admin who manage the working of the entire website. He can perform the functions like approve or reject doctor. He can block and unblock user. Also, view the feedback from user. Approve or reject means after the verifying the documents of the doctor, he only permits the doctor. If any fraud activity occur, he can block doctor. Similar in the case of user. If any unwanted activities or fraud activities occurs from user side, admin can block him. The next module is user. User can ask questions to the doctor and view treatment details. He can send feedback. User attend the MMSE test. After that, he can view prediction. The last module is doctor. Doctor can view questions from user and give advice to them. Doctor give treatment details to user. Doctor can see the feedback from user. Doctor schedule time for consult patients. The questions from user may be either about Alzheimer disease or any other doubts. It depends from user state. Next section is method used. The method used here are SVM, decision tree and MMSE test. In support vector machine, the objective is to find a hyperplane in an n-dimensional space that distinctly classifies the data points. SVM is primarily a classifier method that performs classification tasks by constructing hyperplanes in a multi-dimensional space that separates cases of different class levels. The SVM is a predictive analysis data classification algorithm that assigns a new data elements to one of the labeled categories. SVM is in most cases, a binary classifier. It assumes that the data in question contain two possible target values. Next method is decision tree. A decision tree is a graphical representation of possible solutions to a decision based on certain conditions. It's called a decision tree because it starts with a single box or root, which then branches off into a number of solutions, just like a tree. Decision tree is a map of possible outcomes of a series of related choices. They can be used either to drive informal discussion or to map an algorithm that predicts the best choice mathematically. A decision tree typically starts with a single node which branches into possible outcomes. The goal of a decision tree is to split a population of data into smaller segments. Decision tree tends to be the method of choice for predictive modeling because relatively easy to understand and very effective. The next method is MMSE test. It is the major part. MMSE was designed to give a practical clinical assessment of change in cognitive status in geriatric patients. It covers the person's orientation to time and place, recall ability, short-term memory and arithmetic ability. During the MMSE, a health professional asks a patient a series of questions designed to test a range of everyday mental skills. The maximum MMSE score is 30 points. Next section is result and discussion. The dataset has three parameters that greatly help in the predicting the diseases like MMSE score, age of the patients used, when the machine learning algorithms like support vector machine decision tree were used, they predict the disease with different accuracies. The context of algorithms is compared based on their accuracy. Then the dataset is partitioned according to that ratio. And when the algorithms are compared, the best one is selected and can be used for next stage of prediction. Next section is the screenshot. This is the code for prediction. For prediction, we need MMSE score, age and gender. First, patient will attend MMSE test and store the result in SQL table. Then these scores, person's MMSE score, age, gender from user registration are retrieved. Then call SVM classifier and predict the result. If result is 0, then print normal. Else print consult a doctor.
Hi all, I am Aishwarya NP. Next is the um, code for decision tree. So to use decision tree classifier, we are importing decision tree classifier from SQL. After that, we load dataset. Then we divide target variable and independent variable, that is training variable. So our dataset variables are already in numbers. So we need not to change in numbers. After that, we train the data. Then we take 70% of data for training and 30% data for testing. To use decision tree, we import a tree from SQL. So we use CLF equal to decision tree classifier of method. After that, we train this decision tree classifier using fit method. CLF equal to CLF dot fit of xstring comma ystring. Then we test 30% of our data, that is by prediction equal to CLF dot predict of x test. Next is the code of SVM. So this is the code of SVM. In SVM, to process data, we use logistic regression for classification. So we import a logistic regression for classification from sklearn. After that, we load dataset. Then after loading, then we divide or split training data and testing data. Then take first row value of training data and check if there is null values. If there is null, we cannot perform prediction. So, logistic regression in SVM is used to predict the odds in favor of a particular event. That is, likely is it for an individual to have Alzheimer's disease in future. Then we import, after that we import logistic regression classifier, that is model equal to logistic regression of. Then call fit method to train the model, that is mod dot fit of x comma y. Then we predict our data by new equal to model dot predict of x new. Next is performance and evaluation. By using XVM, we got 94.115% of accuracy. So to find accuracy, we use confusion matrix. For that, we import confusion matrix from sklearn. Confusion matrix is a table that is used to describe the performance of a classification model. So confusion matrix consists of 2 by 2 matrix, that is 0, 0, 0, 1, 1, 0, 1, 1. Here we are taking 20% of data for testing and we got the result as 4,462, 171, 164, 1,539. Here 4,462 is for true negative. That is, when we gave the data with no Alzheimer's, we get 4,462 of non-Alzheimer's output and 171 for false positive and 164 for false negative and 1,539 for true positive. By using decision tree, we got 100% of accuracy. By using confusion matrix, we got a matrices as 1004, not 7, 0, 0, 494. That is 7 for true negative, 0 for false negative, and 0 for false positive, and 494 for true positive. Conclusion. Uh, Alzheimer's disease is challenging but because there is no treatment for the disease. Thus, if the disease is predicted earlier, the progression or the symptoms of the disease can be slowed down. And by machine learning approach to predict the Alzheimer's disease using machine learning algorithms is successfully implemented and gives greater prediction accuracy result. The model predicts the disease in the patient and also distinguishes between the cognitive impairment. Future events. The future work can be done by combining both brain MRI scans and the psychological parameters to predict disease with higher accuracy using machine learning algorithms. When they are combined, the disease could be predicted with a higher accuracy in the early stage itself.
Hi all, next we will show you our website. This is a Python website with a Flask framework. Our website is look like this. This is the home page, Alzheimer's disease prediction. Here the left side we can see that a login page. After clicking login we can see that there is username, password and login. And also at the end we can see the doctor registration, user registration. If a doctor or user can log into the website, if and only if they are registered first. I will show you a doctor registration. This is just simply give a name. Amna. Then qualification. I just give MBBS. Then license number. Then attach the file. It is related to the person's qualification. I just simply give a file name, then email address, then username Amna, and the registration completed. Give the password. Then I show you that just login that doctor. Invalid username or password. which means that if a doctor is registered, he cannot be directly enter the website. The admin check their files, and if admin approved, then only the doctor can enter the website. I will show you the admin side. Admin, then login successfully. These are the functions of admin. Here we can see that approve doctor, user view, doctor view, feedback, and logout section. Approve doctor. Here here we can see that the Apna Arraj, the person. Then here see that accept or reject. After verifying the details, the admin can accept or reject the doctor. Simply, I just accepted. So approve the doctor. Then the list is not appears here. Then user view. These are the details of user. Then doctor view. These are the doctor list. Then feedback from the user side. Then logout. Next section is user registration. I simply now here I will simply register two user. First one is a older person. This Amalu MK. Ninety 85. Then address code. Sorry. Then phone number. Then save. Registration is completed. Okay, then I will also show another user registration. Let's simply completed. Here Two users are registered. First, we go with the old person, that is login today. These are the functions of user side: questions, MMSC test, view treatment, feedback, prediction, and logout. Questions means the user can ask the question to the doctor. For example, I just type something, then here we can see that a public, it's a list type, public, it's a default type. When we click, we can see that here the list of doctors. If ask the question with a specified doctor, he can select him. Just Amna Raj, then send. It is sended. Then MMSC test. These are the questions. So normal questions. What is the day today? Just 7/10/2021. Next question, color is this? Black. I just gave white. Then what is the day of week? Sunday. Then what is this called? It's a brain and watch, but I give pen and ball. Next is the picture of dog and a cat. I give cat first, cat, then dog. Next is what country are we in? India, but I just give USA. Then starting at 100, right backward 7. You can stop after 5 subtraction. Normally it's a old person. I just give some numbers. Simply 100. Then I give 95. It's a dummy value. Then right word backward. DL. Correct answer is given. Then what was the picture that was shown before? It is A, B, C. Is shown in B. I give A. Then I will show you something that if we skip the question, it is not possible. Please fill out of this field. We must enter anything in the answer, then only we can move with the another questions. Arrange the number in ascending order. Here there is a list of numbers is given. I just give 5, 1, 4, etc. Exam completed. Here most questions are we marked as wrong, and it is a old person. We can prediction. Consult a doctor. That is the prediction of this user. Then feedback. User can send the feedback. Just good. Then logout. Then also another user. Wish. It is a young person. Add questions. It is also a normal thing. Then we move with the MMSC test. What date today? The person have only 21 each. So he can answer the question. Black, just Saturday, then green and watch, dog and cat, we are living in India. Then 100, we is the picture shown before. Then the number, arrange the numbers and start with the 1. Exam completed. Then prediction. Then log out. When next one is doctor login. After login successfully. Here he can see the reply from user. Then treatment information, the treatment that the doctor given to the patients. Then add treatment details. I just give some name. Then the cost of the treatment. Just 855. That is added. Then advice. The doctor can advise the user. Just press and also see the advice that the doctor given before few days ago advised. Then he can see the feedback from user side. Doctor can schedule the time for consulting and the day. Log out. That's all about our website. Thanks for watching. Thanks for everyone. Thank you.